Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, Season 3, Episode 4. So we're here with another episode. I'm getting to recording this on Saturday, which I wasn't anticipating, wasn't trying to do. I actually forgot about it yesterday after recording the other things. But oh well, I'm getting to it, that's what matters. So yeah, last we left off, we had a bit of an interesting message from Mara, the former She-Ra. And on top of that, we had Adora and team captured by Catra, who is planning on opening the gate and basically fucking everything up. So that's fun. I don't know what else is going to happen. I'm really not sure where this is going to go at all because there's a lot that's been brought to the table now. I guess we'll just have to find out. So we're going to get on with it. We're not going to waste any more time. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Well, that happened. I don't know what this episode's actually titled, but I think a fitting name for the episode would be Shit Hits the Fan. And that's even an understatement. Because, holy shit. That was one of the most intense, just completely insane episodes of the show, by far. So, Glimmer and Bo return with Huntara to Bright Moon to tell them about what's going on. Adora's been kidnapped by Catra, and now the Horde is in. It has the sword and can open the portal and basically ruin everything. The Queen doesn't want them to go, though, because she doesn't want to risk losing anyone, and I honestly believe Glimmer was right when she said that you're too paralyzed with fear. Her mother is, and I don't blame her. She lost her husband in a move that was admittedly partially on her. And she doesn't want to lose her daughter as well. She doesn't want to risk that. However, Glimmer knows that this is an urgent matter and understands the gravity of the situation. And she goes to get help from Shadow Weaver, which is a risky plan, but it's the only plan she's got. It's the only thing they can rely on. And Shadow Weaver helps. Legitimately helps get the entire alliance, pretty much, save for Natasa and Spinnerella, into the Fright Zone. They all get in, and they kind of separate themselves in order to fight off the Horde's minions and everything. But they eventually reach Hordak Sanctum, and a big old fight ensues. But on top of that, we also see from the Horde's perspective, Catra's getting more and more insanely desperate. Just more and more unhinged. When she sees that the princesses and Shadow Weaver have come to stop them, and especially Shadow Weaver, and she sees that Shadow Weaver's there to rescue Adora and get everything, Catra's entire complex regarding Adora goes into full throttle and just makes her lose all sense of her sanity. She forces the activation of the portal. But before that, she ends up knocking out Entrapta, who has realized at this point along with Scorpia, that opening the portal would be horribly devastating. And it's because that Entrapta refuses to open it and actually sees reason here that Catra knocks her out and threatens Scorpia as well. She then also she lies to Hordak, telling him that Entrapta is the one who let everyone in, which shocks and upsets him. And his reaction, let's talk about that. Hordak's reaction is legitimate, like, betrayed anger. Like, he feels betrayed. He had, I feel, grown to care for Entrapta and truly trust her more than anyone else. And not just because she was helping him. I think it's because of how she treated him, too. Like, hear me out. He's a failed clone of Horde Prime. He's been looked at as this monster, this horrible evil. And to a point, he is. But Entrapta saw him as a person. She treated him with dignity and care. We even saw in this episode, when he would get injured or hurt by his defects and all, she would rush over to him and try to help him and do everything she could to comfort him. They formed a legitimate bond. And whether or not you want to use that to try and say, oh, you could ship them, is up to you. But honestly, I could completely see why people would. There's legitimately something there. And that's amazing, honestly. We see, in the end, as Catra's trying to convince Hordak to just pull the lever and start the portal machine, we see everyone else come in, everyone who's still on the trail, which is Glimmer and Shadow Weaver at this point. And they start to fight, and a big old fight ensues, and Catra she does it. She pulls the lever and opens the portal. And I like how it just cuts to black and starts the credits. No sound, no music, somber silence. It is the most effective thing they could have done there. Like, it actually got me legitimately emotional. Not emotional like Carol and Tuesday would get me emotional, but I am legitimately scared for what's going to happen. Because this is, bad doesn't even begin to describe it. This is catastrophic. This is a big fucking deal. Like I said, this is the most intense thing this show has done. I truly believe that. At least top 3, but I think it is the most intense thing. It has that much meaning, that much just insanity surrounding it. And honestly, I think that Catra knows that doing this is pretty much suicidal. I think that's the point. I think Catra's suicidal. I think that because of everything that's happened with Adora, because of her complex, her abandonment issues, her just overall feeling of worthlessness in comparison, that Catra just wants it all to end. And that's pretty much what she said to Hordak. Pull a lever and we can end this. She wasn't talking about the rebellion. She wasn't talking about the princesses who had infiltrated the Fright Zone. She meant end this. I truly believe that. You could see how tortured and how much in pain she was when Shadow Weaver had her in that grip, in that magical grip. I think that Catra is suicidal. I think that she wants it all to be over. I think she wants all of Etheria to be destroyed, to cease to exist. And it's insane how emotional that gets me because I'll be honest, Catra was never my favorite character. I honestly have never really understood why so many people flock to her. So many of the fans of the show are so obsessed with her. I've never understood. But at the same time, I understand her as a character. Just because she's not my favorite character, just because I don't understand why so many people love her, doesn't mean I don't understand her character. I understand the pain she goes through. I understand her feelings of inadequacy, her abandonment issues. I get like what they're doing with her character. And I also stand by my previous statements that I believe that she will be redeemed. And I think this is the breaking point. Because, you know, the saying always goes, the night is darkest before the dawn. And you could put it in other ways, like how in order to change, you have to reach your lowest point. You can't go up before going down, that kind of thing. This was Catra's lowest point. Not just for moral, like how she's doing morally, um, but in terms of her emotional just reaction to things. Emotionally, she is at her lowest point. Mentally, she is at her lowest point. She is just not okay. And because of that, I think that this will start her climb upward. I'm not saying that she's going to get redeemed even by the end of this season, but this is where it's going to start. This event, no matter what happens, is going to kickstart everything that's going to redeem her. I'm fully convinced of that. And I have no idea what's going to happen here. I doubt everything's just going to be utterly destroyed. What's more likely is that something's going to happen. I think Entrapta mentioned something about realities being warped, or maybe that was Adora who said that. Either way, someone mentioned something about realities being warped, so maybe we're going to have something like that going on. Or maybe someone will be able to flip it off in time. That's also a possibility. But obviously, we're not going to have it so everything's destroyed. That would end the show. But that's the thing. This is such a big climactic moment for this series. And it's like, whatever's going to happen here has to be big. It has to change things. It has to be worth the build-up. And based on this show's track record, I truly think it will be. This show's phenomenal, let's be honest. But yeah, I don't know where this is going to go, and I'm afraid for where it's going to go. But that's a good thing. Because it shows that they're really giving this entire plot line an impact. So we'll just have to see. Now, I'm still sticking to one episode at a time for now. I know you guys said that this would make me want to marathon it, but I think it's better to stick to one episode at a time. And I think that the intensity and everything of these episodes is why it's better to stick to one episode at a time. I think it just lends to a better viewing experience, especially with a show like this. So it's kind of the opposite of what you guys thought. You guys like were expecting me to like want to marathon a bunch of these episodes or whatnot. Actually, I'm kind of the opposite. I don't want to, and it's because of how this is going. Ironically enough. Now, there's only 6 episodes in this season. It's a really short season. which is kind of disappointing in its own right. But so there's only 2 episodes to go, and I think I'm going to just stick to that. I'm going to stick to the 1 episode at a time thing for the last 2 episodes as well, and we'll just see what happens. But yeah, I have no idea where this is going to go, how it's going to end, how these final 2 episodes are going to resolve this. It's going to be insane, though. Either way, tell me what you thought down in the comments below, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. If you want to check out any of my social media links and more, please check them out over to the side. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, please leave those down below. In the meantime, though, thank you so much once again for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.